of the IFR 2001, the International City Parade. The chief guest for this event, the Prime Minister of India, will soon arrive to join us in this historic moment. I am Kamal Jadhav, and with me on the panel are my fellow commentators Hugo D'Souza and Pratibha Gupta. Together, we will take you through this almost 3-hour extravaganza, comprising spectacular displays on land, sea and sky. The Honourable Prime Minister, our chief guest for the morning, will release a commemorative stamp and a first-day cancellation on the IFR 2001 to mark this historic and proud occasion.
Against the backdrop of the colourful parade of sails, contingents from the Indian Navy a platoon each from the visiting foreign ships, some of them turning out in their traditional costumes, and platoons from the National Defence Academy, the Sea Cadet Corps, and the National Cadet Corps will march down the Marine Drive, which is one of the largest viewing galleries in the world. The march past will be followed by the impressive tableau from the coastal states of Karnataka, Maharashtra and Kerala, states inextricably linked with and depicting the rich maritime heritage and culture of our country. Besides the march past with a difference, spectators will be witness to an exciting array of water and airborne activities on the waters of the Marine Drive, including a microlight demonstration, search and rescue demonstrations, and helobatics. Marine commandos will carry out a demonstration of their lethal skills through mock attacks. The grand finale will be a flypast by about 80 aircraft of the Indian Navy, the Coast Guard, and the Indian Air Force, and then the icing on the cake, an aerobatics display by the world-renowned Suryakiran aerobatics team of the Indian Air Force. It'll be breathtaking, it'll be heart-stopping, and we're in for nearly 3 hours of sheer excitement. On your screen right now is the parade of sails which started a short while ago. The sport of yachting is increasingly becoming popular in India. Indian yachtsmen have won laurels and done the country proud on various occasions. They have excelled in Asian and World Championships and Commonwealth regattas, winning gold, silver and bronze medals for the country. Today's parade of sails consists of a display of sailing boats and water skiing in Chowpatty Bay. There are 3 different classes of boats participating in the event, namely the Enterprise class, the Cadet class and the Optimist class. These boats will be sailed by yachtsmen of the Naval Sailing Club and the children of the Sea Cadet Corps. The Enterprise class, which you see on your screen right now, is a 2-crew boat with blue sails and is the most popular dinghy in the country. The Cadet and Optimist classes are primarily for the younger sailors under the ages of 17 and 15 years respectively. In addition, water skiing, which you see on your screen right now, will also feature speedboats with expert skiers in tow.
आज का सिटी परेड इस समय इस शहर में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बेड़ा पुनरीक्षण 2001 की प्रमुख कार्यक्रमों में से एक है। भारतीय गणतंत्र की स्वर्ण जयंती के अवसर पर भारत के मित्र राष्ट्र आज हमारे साथ 29 राष्ट्रों के प्रतिनिधि समूहों हैं, जिनमें से 19 देशों के 25 बोट हमारे देशों का प्रतिनिधित्व कर रहे हैं। इस समारोह का आयोजन करके हमने दूसरे देशों के साथ मैत्री संबंध को और मजबूत करने का प्रयास किया है और शांति के प्रतीक के इस रूप में इन युद्धवीरों को इकट्ठा करने की चेष्टा की है। वास्तव में यह उत्सव हमने विभिन्न समुद्रों को ही जोड़ दिया है। कई शताब्दी पूर्व एक भारतीय मनीषी ने कहा था, वसुदैव कुटुंबकम, अर्थात पूरा विश्व एक ही परिवार है। इस आयोजन ने इस बात को यथार्थ में बदल दिया है। इसलिए इस भव्य कार्यक्रम का मूल विषय मैत्री संबंध अर्थात ब्रिजेस ऑफ फ्रेंडशिप सही रूप में चुना गया है।
As you continue to watch the exciting water sports in front of you, Here's a little bit of history about the review. The review of a nation's fleet of ships by the head of state is a long prevalent tradition. The President of India, in his capacity as the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, reviews the fleet once during his tenure as the head of the Republic. The Indian fleet has so far been reviewed 8 times by the incumbent president, except for the second review in 1964, which was reviewed by Shri Y.B. Chavan, the then Honorable Defence Minister of India. To give you more details of earlier reviews, it's over to Hugo.
Thank you, Kamal. And as viewers watch the exciting demonstration of water sports, the speedboats with the expert skiers in tow, I'd like to tell you that the first ever fleet review of the Indian Navy was on the 10th of October 1953 by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who reviewed 25 warships and 1 merchant vessel. The second on 20th April 1964 by the Honorable Defence Minister of India, Shri Y.B. Chavan, who reviewed 31 warships and 9 merchant vessels. The 10th of February 1966 saw Dr. S. Radhakrishnan review the fleet comprising 11 warships. He was on board the INS Vikrant, our first aircraft carrier, which joined the Indian Navy in 1961, a 22,000-ton behemoth, formerly the HMS Hercules. On your screens now, you see the teeming throngs moving into position, taking vantage points to watch the International City Parade. A section of our visiting dignitaries, our VIP guests, senior naval officers, and their families, all decked up in their ceremonial best, their Sunday best, and out to have a wonderful time. Going back to the history of the Fleet Review, the fourth Fleet Review was on the 28th of December 1969, where Shri V.V. Giri reviewed the fleet comprising 45 warships and 5 merchant vessels, with the submarine arm on display for the first time. The first submarine to join the Indian Navy was the INS Kalvari in 1968. It was also the time when the Navy became a blue water force with the acquisition of the INS Deepak, the replenishment tanker from Germany. On 11 January 1976, Shri Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad reviewed the fleet, where the first Indian-built frigate, the INS Nilgiri, was on display. With this, the Indian fleet moved from a buyer's navy to a builder's navy. On your screen right now, a section of our foreign guests, and right now, senior officers of the Indian Navy and some of our foreign visiting naval officers.
इस पुनरीक्षण में 70 युद्धपोतों ने भाग लिया। इसमें गश्ती पोत भी शामिल हैं। इस पुनरीक्षण में 25 पोत बाहरी देशों के हैं, जो भारत के आमंत्रण पर इसमें भाग लेने के लिए आए हैं। आज आप इस प्रमुख पोतों के जवानों को इस नेताजी सुभाष मार्ग पर मार्च करते हुए देखेंगे। यह मार्ग मरीन ड्राइव के नाम से मशहूर है। और दर्शकों, अब आपको मुंबई शहर के बारे में थोड़ी सी जानकारी दे रही हैं कमल।
You still see the Marine Drive packed with thronging crowds out early on Sunday morning. Normally Sunday is a late morning, but today everyone's out bright and early to watch this spectacular event. Mumbai, India's throbbing metropolis, home to the cream of Indian business, is proud to host this mega event. We now have Mr. Manohar Joshi, the Industries Minister, who's just arrived. The island city of Mumbai was the seat of the Silahara dynasty of the Deccan. Later, it came under Muslim occupation. The question is, how did it get its name? One belief is that Mumba Devi, the mother goddess of the aboriginal Kolis, lent her name to the region. It was Mumbaim to the Portuguese, or Bon Bahia, or Good Bay, and they were enamored by the harbour. Today's parade will start from Nariman Point, which is the hub of the Bombay Commercial Centre, and culminate at Chowpatty, the famous beach, after traversing the entire length of the Marine Drive. The road was built on reclaimed land in 1920 and is one of the most famous promenades of the city. The road is often referred to as the Queen's Necklace because of the dramatic curve of its street lights at night. Now you have these tall buildings coming into view, and they're all just the front of the concrete jungle that Nariman Point is called, because there's just buildings after buildings after buildings, and it's very easy even for Mumbaikars to get lost in this maze of roads.
Kamal, I'll just interrupt. We'll come back to the Fleet Review, the history of the Fleet Review. On the 12th February 1984, Sri Gyani Zail Singh reviewed the fleet, and it was for the first time that a fully indigenous designed frigate, the multi-role Godavari class frigates built at Mazagon Docks, was on display. Coming in right now is Mr. Pramod Mahajan, Honourable Minister for Parliamentary Affairs and Information Technology. We are expecting several more of our dignitaries to arrive. A number of our Honourable Ministers from Delhi have made it a point to stay here in Bombay for the Fleet Review. It shows how important it is, the significance they attach to this unique international event. The thronging crowds once again eagerly looking at the demonstration in the bay before them, the parade of sails, the exhibition of water skiing, seamanship, boat handling by the Enterprise, Optimist and other sailing boats filling the bay before us. The road divider is beautifully done up, bearing the pennants of all the visiting and participating navies and countries. This telecast is coming to you live, covered by Doordarshan for its national network, as well as Doordarshan International. There are 8 cameras positioned to give you the best possible coverage of this event. On the Marine Drive sea face, we've got 4 cameras giving you the best possible coverage of the action happening out in the bay. At the Oberoi Poolside Gallery, where the Prime Minister will move up late in the day to view the aerial display, we have 2 cameras. You can see one of our cameras right there on the Marine Drive sea face. And on the Marine Drive flyover, we've got 2 more cameras giving you the view of the further end of the parade. Coming back to the history of the Fleet Review, the 7th Fleet Review was held on the 15th of February 1989 by Sri Venkatraman, where 86 ships participated, and for the first time there was a flypast by 39 aircraft. The review featured INS Delhi, the 6,550-ton guided missile destroyer, which now has company with the INS Mysore and the INS Mumbai, joining the Indian Navy in 1999 and 2001 respectively. Kamal, do you have something to tell our viewers?
All our dignitaries are being received by Vice Admiral Madhavendra Singh, Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Western Naval Command. Here again, a section of Marine Drive. And the camera is at the Oberoi Poolside.
दर्शकों, मार्च पास्ट समारोह का आरंभ ठीक 10 बजे प्रधानमंत्री महोदय के आगमन के पश्चात होगा। मार्च पास्ट में कुल 40 सैन्य दल प्लाटून भाग लेंगे। पश्चिम पूर्व व दक्षिण नौसेना कमान, पश्चिम थल सेना कमान तथा दक्षिण पश्चिम वायु कमान, इन सभी में से एक एक सशस्त्र सैन्य दल भाग लेंगे। भारतीय नौसेना पोतों से संबद्ध 46 रेजिमेंट से भी एक एक सशस्त्र सैन्य दल भाग लेगा। पश्चिम क्षेत्र के तटरक्षक संगठन से भी एक सशस्त्र सैनिक दस्ता भाग लेगा। इसी प्रकार राष्ट्रीय रक्षा अकादमी, सी कैडेट कॉरपोरेशन तथा नेशनल कैडेट कॉरपोरेशन से भी एक एक प्लाटून इस रैली में भाग लेगी। इसके अलावा सभी आमंत्रित विदेशी नौसेना पोतों से भी एक एक प्लाटून इस रैली का प्रतिनिधित्व करेगी। और अब आपको नौसेना बैंड के इतिहास के बारे में कुछ जानकारी दे रही हैं कमल।
What you see before you are the buildings lining the Marine Drive. Many of them have been given a facelift by the residents who took pride in being part of this historic occasion. Indeed, they have a ringside view of the proceedings that are about to take place. The premier band of the Indian Navy was commissioned in 1945 as the Naval Central Band with a strength of only 50 musicians. Today, the small 50-piece band has increased to a combined strength of 402 musicians. We have some more VIPs. As I said earlier, our VIPs are being received by the Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Western Naval Command, Vice Admiral Madhavendra Singh. To get back to the band, progressing from delightful martial music, successive conductors of the band increased the range of its repertoire to include arrangements of symphonies, overtures, solos, duets, concerts, and other forms of contemporary music, including Indian classical. As you can see, we now have Mr. Ram Vilas Paswan, who has just arrived and is being received by the Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Sushil Kumar, and Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Western Naval Command, Vice Admiral Madhavendra Singh. Naval bands have regaled audiences all over the world. What one sees now is the lighthouse, bedecked for the occasion. And it's a beautiful shot. That is the logo of the IFR. And as we know, the motto of the IFR is Bridges of Friendship. The sailboat depicted in the IFR 2001 logo has a unique history. It was first seen on a seal dating back to the Mohenjo-daro era of 3000 BC. The rendition of a sailboat has a high prow and stern, a single mast and rudder. And in artistic style, it resembles the pottery designs of Egypt, the seals of the Minoan era, and the cylinder designs of Sumer, a clear indication of the seaborne trade links with these regions at that time. The boat itself is evidence of our maritime culture dating back 4 millennia and is a strong link to the modern Indian Navy. We now have the Defence Minister, Shri George Fernandes, who has just arrived. He is being received by the Chief of Naval Staff and the Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Western Naval Command. The The crowds are all eagerly waiting. The Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra has also arrived, Sri Vilas Rao Deshmukh. There is the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Sri Vilas Rao Deshmukh, accompanied by his wife.
और अब हमारे लाल कृष्ण आडवाणी, गृह मंत्री लाल कृष्ण आडवाणी आ चुके हैं। और सारी जनता बहुत ही बेसब्री से इंतज़ार कर रही है परेड शुरू होने का, जिसे हम अपने चीफ गेस्ट के आने पर आरंभ करेंगे। लोगों का अभी भी आना शुरू जारी है और भीड़ क्षण प्रति क्षण बढ़ती ही जा रही है, जैसा कि आप देख ही रहे हैं। मरीन ड्राइव को बहुत ही सुंदर एक दुल्हन की तरह सजाया गया है, जिसे कि सभी सम्मिलित देशों के झंडों के साथ बहुत ही सुंदर लग रहा है।
You get a panoramic view of the Queen's Necklace from here, one of the famous landmarks of Mumbai. The colorful flags signifying the different nations taking part in the IFR, the excited crowds, the lush greenery. Truly, Marine Drive is decked out in its best Sunday attire.
The International Fleet Review 2001 is the first ever in India and the largest ever naval extravaganza in Asia. And coming in view right now, we have the motorcade of His Excellency Dr. P.C. Alexander, the Governor of Maharashtra. He is received by the Raksha Mantri, Mr. George Fernandez, the Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Sushil Kumar, Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Western Naval Command, Vice Admiral Madhvendra Singh, and other senior naval dignitaries. In a short while from now, our chief guest, the Prime Minister of India, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, will be arriving. We can hear his motorcade in the distance, and filling your screens right now is a demonstration of parasailing, one of the hottest sports catching on worldwide. It's not very expensive. It gives you all the thrill of big-time adventure sports. These are the speedboats that are towing the parasailers. There's a whole lot of activity out there in the water. And of course, this is a beautiful view of the curve of the Queen's Necklace. the colorful crowds, the trees fringing the promenade, and of course the waters of the bay. Coming up now is a view of the further side of the bay, the Malabihil area, which culminates in the governor's residence, the Raj Bhavan. Our parasailer is still in view, and our cameras catching the action.
As you can see, all the dignitaries are awaiting the arrival of our chief guest, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. A view of the cameramen. There's a whole battery of them here to capture on camera this historic occasion. We can hear the sound of the Prime Minister's motorcade in the distance. It's only a matter of a few. The Prime Minister's motorcade has come into view. The entire motorcade of the Prime Minister is now approaching. The mist seems to have cleared and Mumbaikars are in for a really splendid sight, and so are our viewers all over the country. The dome you see in the far distance is the revolving restaurant, a very popular eating place. The dignitaries are awaiting the Prime Minister.
Another view of the Queen's Necklace, Marine Drive, one of the best known promenades in India. I think those must be the only chairs still left for viewers to occupy. Every other inch of space has been taken, and taken since early morning. The water sports still in progress. The speedboat racing across, leaving a wake of surf behind it.
इस समय मरीन ड्राइव पे बहुत ही सुंदर दृश्य उपस्थित हो रहा है। दर्शकों की भीड़ और यहाँ का सुहाना मौसम। दोस्तों, अभी हमारे प्रधानमंत्री आ रहे हैं। बस कुछ ही क्षणों में वो अपने गंतव्य स्थान तक पहुँचने ही वाले हैं। इस समय यहाँ का बहुत ही सुंदर दृश्य उपस्थित हो रहा है और सभी खड़े हैं प्रधानमंत्री की प्रतीक्षा में, जो बस कुछ ही क्षणों में पहुँच रहे हैं और विभिन्न देशों के झंडे वहाँ पे और शोभा बढ़ा रहे हैं। दूर दूर तक फैली ये ऊंची ऊंची इमारतें, जिनकी छतों पे आप देख सकते हैं और उनकी खिड़कियों में भी लोग खड़े हैं इस मनोहर दृश्य को देखने के लिए। आज यहाँ पर धूप भी बहुत सुहानी खिली हुई है और दर्शकों को बहुत ही सुखद एहसास हो रहा है इस जगह का। और मरीन ड्राइव की शोभा अपने आप में ही कुछ अनुपम उदाहरण प्रस्तुत कर रही है।
The Prime Minister's car has stopped, and you can see the Prime Minister, our chief guest for the function, being received by the Defence Minister, Shri George Fernandes, the Governor of Maharashtra, Dr. P.C. Alexander, and the Chief of the Naval Staff, Admiral Sushil Kumar. Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Western Naval Command, Vice Admiral Madhavendra Singh, is also there to receive him. The Chief Minister of Maharashtra too is there. That is the point from where the Prime Minister will view the International City Parade in all its pomp and splendor.
I think we've used the helicopters to come. Helicopters will come flying.
The parade is now about to begin.
Two of you are alternating. Take the mic.
चार चेतक हेलीकॉप्टर प्रधानमंत्री को सलामी देते हुए राष्ट्रीय ध्वज और नेवी फ्लैग के साथ आ रहे हैं। अब मंच के सामने से गुजरने ही वाले हैं। चारों एक साथ एक ही सुर ताल मिलाते हुए अब मंच के सामने से गुजर रहे हैं, जो कि राष्ट्रीय ध्वज और
You have just seen the 4 Chetak helicopters of the Indian Navy flying the national flag and the naval ensign. It is indeed a proud moment for us to see the colors of our nation and of the Navy to be flying high. As the colors fly past the dais, the parade has commenced with the march past. The parade commander is coming to view. He is Commodore M.S. Joshi, Commanding Officer INS Angre, the premier shore establishment of the Navy.
परेड कमांडर एमएस जोशी इस समय अपनी परेड के साथ मार्च पास्ट करते हुए।
Coming into view now is the contingent of flag bearers of all the 19 nations participating in the IFR 2000.
सभी 19 देशों के झंडों के साथ इस समय मार्च पास्ट शुरू हो चुका है। प्रधानमंत्री इस दृश्य का आनंद उठाते हुए
That is a beautiful shot of the contingent of flag bearers. Coming into view now is the 120 strong armed contingent from the Western Naval Command, led by Lieutenant Commander V.S. McCarty. They are advancing smartly towards the dais And the Western Naval Command is the premier naval command of the Indian Navy with its headquarters at Mumbai.
और अब आपके सामने से वेस्टर्न नेवल कमांड की मार्च पास्ट, इसके नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं लेफ्टिनेंट कमांडर वी.एस. मकार्टी। भारतीय नौसेना बैंड 1, इसका नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं चीफ पेटी ऑफिसर आर चांद।
Now we have the contingent from the Eastern Naval Command. The platoon commander is Lieutenant D.C. Panikar, and he dips his sword in salute to the Prime Minister. The command has its headquarters at Visakhapatnam.
पूर्वी नौसेना कमान का बैंड अब हमारे की प्लाटून अब हमारे सामने से गुजर रही है। इसके प्लाटून कमांडर हैं लेफ्टिनेंट डी.एस. पांडिकर।
This is followed by the Southern Naval Command contingent, 12 columns of 10 men each, and the platoon is commanded by Lieutenant Commander Ravi Swaran.
अभी आपने देख रहे हैं भारतीय सेना का प्लाटून, इसके नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं मेजर इशरब नवी।
The 13th Dogra Regiment, commanded by Major Ishrat Nabi, passing by right now and on your screen. This is followed by the Army Band of the Mechanized Light Infantry Center, located at Ahmednagar, led by Subedar Pankaj Rawal.
आर्मी बैंड का नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं पंकज रावल। इंडियन आर्मी डोगरा रेजिमेंट सेंटर अब हमारे सामने से गुजर रहा है। यह रणविजय युद्ध के साथ संलग्न है। इसके नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं लेफ्टिनेंट नवजोत सिंह। और ये धुन बजा रहे हैं सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा।
This is the Jammu and Kashmir Light Infantry Unit, affiliated with INS Ganga through 1994, UNISCOM 2. The contingent is led by Lieutenant H.K. Tripathi.
जम्मू और कश्मीर राइफल्स के अब हमारे सामने से गुजर रहे हैं। यह आईएनएस रणविजय के साथ संलग्न है और इसके नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं कैप्टन ए.के. पांडे।
Now the Navy Band 2 is in view on your screens, commanded by J.G. Das, MCPO musician. He's a Master Chief Petty Officer.
अब आप देख रहे हैं गढ़वाल राइफल्स हमारे सामने से गुजरती हुई। इसका नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं C.S. नेगी।
Now you have the Indian Coast Guard platoon, commanded by the Deputy Commandant M. Venkatesh. Their motto is, "We protect."
We now have the first of our foreign contingents coming in. This is a contingent from Australia who have come with their ship HMAS Darwin, a frigate.
अब आप देख रहे हैं ऑस्ट्रेलियन नौसेना प्रधानमंत्री को सलामी देती हुई गुजर रही है और प्रधानमंत्री इस
On your screen right now is the band from the Bangladesh Navy led by M.A.H. Khan, Chief Petty Officer.
बांग्लादेश बैंड हमारे सामने से गुजरता हुआ।
The Prime Minister enjoying every moment of this international city parade. In your screen right now is the Bangladeshi contingent from the ship BNS Ali Haidar, a frigate led by Lieutenant Fazul Qadir.
फ्रांसीसी नौसेना अब राष्ट्रपति को सलामी देती हुई गुजर रही है।
The French have come here with two ships, the FNS Duplé, a destroyer, and the nuclear submarine Pearl, one of the highlights of the International Fleet Review. The French contingent is followed by the Indonesian contingent, who are here with their ship Kritong Kol. The contingent is led by Lieutenant Ivan, and you see them led by two Indonesians in their traditional vest.
इंडोनेशियन नौसेना अपने दो पारंपरिक वेशभूषा वाले सैनिकों के साथ इनका नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं लेफ्टिनेंट आइवन।
Coming into view right now is the third of the naval bands, led by P.S. Rao, Master Chief Petty Officer Musician. They are playing the tune Fleet Review, specially composed for the International Fleet Review by Commander S.A. Anchis, Director Music, Indian Navy. Coming up now is the contingent from Japan. Japan is represented by the JDS Amagiri, their destroyer.
जापानी नौसेना अब प्रधानमंत्री को सलामी देती हुई गुजर रही है।
They are carrying the Indian flag as well as the Japanese flag and the Japanese naval flag as a sign of friendship. They are followed by the contingent from Kenya, who are here with two vessels, the KNS Shuja, an offshore patrol vessel, and the KNS Nyayo, a missile boat.
कीनिया के पीछे है मलेशियन नौसेना।
The Malaysians are here. We have the Kenyan contingent marking time for a while in front of the saluting dais. Each country has brought their own unusual customs and naval traditions here. Right now, the Japanese contingent, followed by the Kenyan contingent going across your screen. Coming up now is the Malaysian contingent, who are here with two boats, a frigate, the KD Jibar, and the KD Laksamana Tan Kusma.
अब आप देख रहे हैं भारतीय नौसेना का बैंड 4, जो कि अपनी बहुत ही मनोहर धुनों के साथ गुजरते हुए।
The band is led by Master Chief Petty Officer Musician A.S. Sathe, and they are followed by the contingent from Mauritius, who are here with their ship CGS Vigilant. They've been in Mumbai enjoying the hospitality of the Indian Navy for a month. Mumbai has really poured out its hospitality to receive all these foreign dignitaries and the visiting navies. Coming up now is the contingent from Morocco. They're here with their ship Lieutenant Colonel Al Arahmani, a frigate.
अब आपने देखा मोरक्को की सेना अभी हमारे सामने से गुजरी।
We have Oman now on screen, and this contingent is led by Lieutenant Khalid Ambaj. They are here with the missile boat Al Najah.
ओमान की नौसेना का अब आप देख रहे हैं पोलैंड की नौसेना हमारे सामने से गुजर रही है।
Commanded by ORP Wodnik, that's the Polish contingent. We now have the Russian band playing March Moskova.
रूसी बैंड की धुन है मार्च मस्कोवा, जो कि अभी प्रधानमंत्री के सामने से गुजरते हुए।
have the Russian contingent, and they're here with two ships, Admiral Vinogradov and Admiral Pantaleev. And the contingent is led by Captain of the First Rank, Savarinsky.
रूसी प्लाटून का अब आप देख रहे हैं सिंगापुर की नौसेना। सिंगापुर की नौसेना का नेतृत्व कर रहे थे कैप्टन चार्ल्स तेग।
And they're here with the ship RSS Endurance. This is an amphibious vessel.
अभी श्रीलंका नौसेना हमारे सामने से गुजरती हुई।
They are here with the ship Sayura, which is an offshore patrol vessel.
श्रीलंका बैंड का नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं लेफ्टिनेंट कमांडर जूड पेरेस।
You now see the South African contingent. They are here with their ship SAS Drakensberg. This is a fleet ship.
दक्षिण अफ्रीका के नौसैनिक अभी इधर से गुजरते हुए, सभी दर्शक उनका आनंद उठा रहे हैं। थाईलैंड की नौसेना के सैनिक भारत के प्रधानमंत्री अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी को सलामी देते हुए।
Thailand is here with a frigate HTMS Bang Pakong.
यूके के प्लाटून के कमांडर हैं लेफ्टिनेंट कमांडर जापी।
They are here with the frigate HMS Cumberland.
संयुक्त राज्य अमेरिका यूएसए की प्लाटून हमारे सामने से गुजरती हुई, इनका नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं लेफ्टिनेंट पाविल्स्की।
The three flags you see are the flag from the USA, the Pacific Fleet flag and the Indian flag as a sign of friendship. They are from the USS Cowpens. It's a cruiser. And it's commanded by Lieutenant Pavilsky.
यूएसए का बैंड उसका पीछे अपनी धुनों के साथ।
The crowd is obviously enjoying every moment of it. This is the Sea Cadet Corps. It's a 60-strong contingent of boys and girls and led by A. Azmi Mirza.
सी कैडेट एनसीसी कैडेट्स का नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं सीनियर कैडेट कैप्टन मिर्जा। दर्शक इस परेड का आनंद उठाते हुए।
This is one of the best and most smartly dressed and best marching contingent. That's the National Defence Academy, commanded by Battalion Cadet Captain Manoj Kumar.
एनडीए के कैडेट्स का नेतृत्व कर रहे थे बटालियन कैडेट कैप्टन मनोज कुमार।
You find the loudest clapping reserved for the NDA contingent, followed by their band.
In fact, I'm sure a number of young people out here will be inspired by the beautifully turned out contingent of the National Defense Academy to try and make the services their career. Coming into view right now is the first of our tableaus, the Advanced Light Helicopter of the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Bangalore.
अब आप देख रहे हैं हमारे सामने से गुजर रहा है HAL का एडवांस लाइट हेलीकॉप्टर ALH इसका स्केल मॉडल।
India is slowly and steadily moving to self-sufficiency in all the wings of the defense services. The Navy has already demonstrated this capability with the launch of its ultra-modern destroyers, the INS Mumbai. The ALH, Advanced Light Helicopter, scale model in your screen right now. The first of the parade of tableaus. This is followed by the pride of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, the light combat aircraft. India's first indigenous lightweight single-seat jet fighter. It received tremendous applause at the recently concluded Aero India 2001 at Bangalore last week. It will be the future, the backbone of the combat arm of the Indian Air Force.
HAL का LCA लाइट कॉम्बैक्ट एयरक्राफ्ट अब हमारे सामने से गुजरता हुआ।
This is the naval version of the LCA, which has both the naval and the Air Force versions. Coming up now are the tableaus of the three coastal states being represented today. The tableau from Karnataka, with important ports like Mangalore, Karwar and Calicut along its coast. Karnataka is an important state for our maritime heritage as well as for our maritime future.
कर्नाटका की झांकी का आनंद उठाते हुए सभी दर्शक और भारतीय तथा विदेशी सैनिक। बहुत ही सुंदर ढंग से सजाई गई ये झांकी अपनी अलग ही शोभा बढ़ा रही है और मरीन ड्राइव परेड को चार चांदों से सजा रही है। अपने पारंपरिक रूप में सजी हुई ये झांकी अब हमारे सामने से गुजर रही है।
The Nandi bull represented there, along with various other facets of the coastal life of Karnataka. The theme is ecotourism. Coming up now into view is the tableau from Kerala, God's own country as it's described. Kerala is renowned for its lush green fields and palm-fringed backwaters. It's also renowned for its beautiful beaches, its river resorts, its natural beauty, and yes, its traditional methods of healing.
केरला की झांकी अभी प्रधानमंत्री के सामने से गुजरती हुई अपनी पारंपरिक और सांस्कृतिक धरोहर को सुरक्षित रखे हुए केरला के लोगों को ये झांकी हमारे सामने से गुजर रही है।
The audience loves every minute of this. Every marching contingent has been given a very generous round of applause. Every tableau received with much interest. Of course, this telecast comes to you exclusively from Doordarshan, both for the national network and the international network, through an 8-camera live telecast. We've already told you we have 4 cameras on the Marine Drive sea face, one of which catches the Maharashtra tableau as it moves into your screen.
महाराष्ट्र की झांकी अब आप देख रहे हैं। वीर शिवाजी शिवाजी महाराज और उनका एक किला।
Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was instrumental in giving Maharashtra its maritime heritage. Along with his Admiral Kanoji Angre, he built a very strong navy and had well fortified seaward forts right along the coast of Maharashtra.
नेवल डॉकयार्ड मुंबई की झांकी अब गुजरती हुई, जो कि विश्व मित्रता को प्रतिनिधित्व कर रही है।
Coming into view right now is the tableau of the Naval Dockyard Mumbai. Naval Dockyard Mumbai has a legendary association with the seas. In this tableau, they demonstrate their technological prowess, their repair capability, and of course, the fact that they are very much an integral part of the naval family of India. A beautiful float, well decorated, and carrying its indelible association with the International Fleet Review through the logo and of course the Bridges of Friendship motto.
विभिन्न देशों के झंडों के साथ फ्लैग बेयरर्स गुजरते हुए,
the flag bearers of the 19 participating countries coming once again into view. And in a short while from now, we will have the commencement of the flypast.
But before that, we await the welcome address by the Chief of the Naval Staff.
The flypast will feature a microlight display, search and rescue demonstrations, helobatics, a demonstration of a mission by the Marine Commandos, or Marcos as they're called, their quick reaction group, a water para jump, and of course the flypast.
You have the French band in view. They're slow marching. This is one of the few contingents that has women as well on its force.
The French are here with the only visiting submarine, the nuclear-powered FNS Pearl, an attack submarine of tremendous capability, capable of operating right out in the high seas all on its own.
The Chief of the Naval Staff has said that the purpose of holding the review was to stretch a hand of friendship to different navies of the world. It is for this reason, he said, that the theme of the naval exercise is Bridges of Friendship.
And as His Excellency Shri K.R. Narayanan, President of India, said in his address at the International Fleet Review yesterday, indeed it would seem that the theme Bridges of Friendship has succeeded in launching 1,000 ships in this historic harbour of Mumbai. Yes, indeed, Mumbai is privileged to host this magnificent event. A beautiful view of Marine Drive once again laid out in its festive best, celebrating the bridges of friendship whose foundation has been laid at the International Fleet Review 2001.
सभी दर्शक इस सुबह सुहाने मौसम में बैठे हुए इस मार्च पास्ट का आनंद उठा रहे हैं और दर्शकों की भीड़ में एक अजीब सा उत्साह नजर आ रहा है। ये आप देख रहे हैं मरीन ड्राइव ब्रिज के ऊपर से बहुत ही सुंदर दृश्य उपस्थित हो रहा है और उनके ऊपर पुष्पों की वर्षा की जा रही है उनके स्वागत में कि उन्होंने हमारे इस आमंत्रण को स्वीकार किया और यहाँ पर आकर इस मित्रता में अपना हाथ का सहयोग दिया।
Our cameras from the Marine Drive flyover catching that beautiful view, and we now move
for the Indian Navy. This is a very special occasion. We have 30 countries participating in this multinational event. To those who have come from abroad, we offer them our greetings and good wishes. And to the city of Mumbai, to the Maharashtra government, our most grateful thanks. It's a proud day for us, and we know the sacrifices made in the city of Mumbai to prepare for this all-important event. We thank you for your cooperation, and we are most encouraged to see the hundreds and thousands of people here to witness this International City Parade. We are especially honored this morning to have in our midst the distinguished presence of the Honorable Prime Minister and other dignitaries, including His Excellency the Governor of Maharashtra, senior cabinet ministers of India, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and all the Chief of Navies who are present here, of the participating navies. It's a great honor for us, and the Indian Navy feels privileged and humbled on this occasion. I now invite the Honorable Prime Minister to kindly release a special first day cover on this momentous occasion. And the Honorable Minister, Mr. Paswan, will do the honors on this. Mr. Paswan.
परम आदरणीय देश के प्रधानमंत्री श्री अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी, हिज एक्सेलेंसी गवर्नर ऑफ महाराष्ट्र, आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री जी, आदरणीय रक्षा मंत्री जी, आदरणीय गृह मंत्री जी, हमारे यहाँ मंत्रिमंडल के सदस्यगण, मनोहर जोशी साहब, हमारे साथी प्रमोद महाजन जी, यहाँ हमारे तमाम चीफ नवल स्टाफ मौजूद हैं जिनका भाषण आपने सुना, हमारे नवल हेड्स ऑफ द वेरियस कंट्रीज, आगंतुक सज्जनों, माताओं बहनों, आज हमें इस बात का खुशी है कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के कर कमलों द्वारा इंटरनेशनल फ्लीट रिव्यू 2001 के अवसर पर डाक टिकट जारी करने का प्रधानमंत्री के द्वारा सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ है। मैं सर्वप्रथम आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ, मुबारकबाद देना चाहता हूँ कि उन्होंने अपने व्यस्तम कार्यक्रम में से समय निकाल करके ऐतिहासिक क्षण में डाक टिकट जारी करने का मौका दिया। आप जानते हैं कि ये डाक टिकट बहुत छोटा होता है, लेकिन इसका बहुत महत्व होता है। ये छोटी सी डाक टिकट अपने आप में सारी बातों को कह देता है और हमारा डाक तार विभाग समय समय पर जो देश के महापुरुष हैं, जो देश के महान हस्तियां हैं, जो इवेंट्स हैं, घटनाएं हैं या नेचर से संबंधित इन चीज़ों के ऊपर में डाक टिकट जारी कर रहा है। और हम इन डाक टिकट के माध्यम से जो न सिर्फ हम डाक टिकट जारी करते हैं, पत्र के माध्यम से या दूर संचार के माध्यम से न सिर्फ हम तार और चिट्ठी भेजने का काम करते हैं, बल्कि दिलों के तार को भी हम जोड़ने का काम करते हैं। और आज मैं समझता हूँ कि इस दिशा में ऐतिहासिक कदम है। वैसे डाक टिकट पहले भी जारी हुए हैं, लेकिन आज का जो ऐतिहासिक क्षण है ये बहुत ही अभूतपूर्व क्षण है, चूँकि भारत में ये पहली बार अंतर्राष्ट्रीय इंटरनेशनल फ्लीट रिव्यू हो रहा है। और इसमें जैसा कि अभी चीफ ऑफ नवल ने बतलाया कि इसमें बहुत सारे देश के 26 देश के प्रतिनिधि भाग ले रहे हैं। 26 देश के अफसर यहाँ मौजूद हैं और काफ़ी लड़ाकू जहाज़, 30 लड़ाकू अंतर्राष्ट्रीय लड़ाकू जहाज़ हैं, 90 जहाज़ हैं। तो ये एक ऐतिहासिक क्षण है और इसका कार्यक्रम का आयोजन मैं समझता हूँ इसलिए भी किया गया होगा कि जो नवल जितने भी हमारे जवान हैं या अफसर्स हैं, उनकी सबकी एक ही समस्या है, सब पानी में रहते हैं, सबका एक दूसरे से जो एक परस्पर जो है संबंध है और इससे न सिर्फ उनका आपस में एक कठिनाई या सहानुभूति बढ़ती है, बल्कि देशों का संबंध भी इससे जुड़ता है। और इसलिए इस ऐतिहासिक क्षण के ऊपर में डाक डिपार्टमेंट ने, डाक विभाग ने यह उचित समझा कि इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय महत्व के दिन हम डाक टिकट जारी करें और इसी के लिए हम लोगों ने प्रधानमंत्री जी को आग्रह किया था और हमें इस बात की खुशी है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी ने स्वीकार किया। अब मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी से आग्रह करूंगा कि वो डाक टिकट का विमोचन करें। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी।
We now request the Honorable Prime Minister to kindly address us.
Namaskar. Friends, over the past 2 days, we have had the pleasure of witnessing a rich variety of naval drills and displays from around the world. I would like to express my appreciation to the navies of the 29 countries which participated in the exercises and contributed to the success of our first ever International Fleet Review. We have also seen a panoramic review of India's rich maritime history, with which perhaps many even in our own country are not well acquainted. How many of us know that our ancient Vedic texts contain references to India's maritime activities, or that the inspiring motto of the Indian Navy, Shanno Varuna, may Varun, the Lord of the Seas, be auspicious to us, is drawn from these texts. Friends, here in Mumbai, we are at the center of the Indian Ocean in far more than just the geographical sense. The Indian Peninsula overlooks the busy sea lanes from the energy-rich West Asian ports to the economic hubs of Southeast Asia and Japan. We share maritime borders with countries in our near and extended neighborhood. The Indian Navy, therefore, has an important role in cooperating with other navies of the world to protect commercial sea lanes against piracy and other disruptions, to curb drug trafficking and gun running, which have become the handmaidens of international terrorism, and to protect depleting ocean resources and to preserve the maritime ecology. It is only when we have established institutional arrangements for such cooperation can we truly say that we have built bridges of friendship across the oceans. The International Fleet Review is an important first step in bringing navies together to start this endeavor. In a wide arc from South Africa in the west to Australia in the east, the waters of the Indian Ocean wash the shores of countries that form the Indian Ocean rim. It is significant that 15 of the 25 foreign ships at the International Fleet Review were from these countries. This demonstrates a widespread recognition of the enormous potential in the Indian Ocean Rim Association for regional cooperation. I hope that the association will rapidly move to realize the promise of mutually beneficial collaboration. Friends, over the centuries, seas and oceans have been seen as separating, dividing, or insulating countries and continents from one another. As globalization embraces us and communication technologies connect us, oceans should unite us in our endeavor for peaceful economic development. Let us start this process with the Indian Ocean. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Coming into view on your screens right now is the microlight display. Microlight flying has gained increasing popularity in India. It essentially consists of a kite, a hang glider with a small engine attached. The machine is highly maneuverable and is easy to control in normal weather conditions. A shot of the marine drive. We've got 8 cameras positioned, and so at the far end of the marine drive, our cameras are still picking up the marching contingents. We move back to our cameras that catch the microlight display. Microlight flying has assumed an important role in the Army and Navy adventure cells, and they offer our officers and men the opportunity of adventure sports at a reasonably low cost. A close-up of the microlight filling your screen right now, a very simple engineered vehicle. In today's display, there are 8 microlights from the Army and Navy Adventure Cell, and they'll be carrying out various maneuvers in view on your screen. The different types of microlight aircraft.
माइक्रोलाइट एयरक्राफ्ट अपने करतब दर्शकों को दिखाते हुए
In fact, the microlight is a takeoff from the hang glider, which was without any motor. You just had a brief runoff from any elevated position and you were airborne. To some extent, it was a little more dangerous because without an engine, you lacked a certain amount of control over the aircraft. The engine provides that much needed control and of course the flexibility of using the microlight from even a very small and congested place. A section of our audience who have now turned their chairs towards the sea and are enjoying this thrilling display.
दर्शक इस माइक्रोलाइट एयरक्राफ्ट का आनंद उठा रहे हैं और ये अपने समुद्र के ऊपर अपने करतब दिखा रहे हैं। घरों में आप देख रहे हैं जितनी भी बिल्डिंग्स हैं सबकी छतों पर और बालकनी में लोग खड़े हुए इसका मज़ा ले रहे हैं। अपार विशाल जनसमूह यहाँ पर उपस्थित है जो कि आज इस सिटी परेड का आनंद उठाने के लिए यहाँ पर।
Our Prime Minister now reaching the poolside of the Oberoi Hotel, from where he will get a grandstand view of the aerobatics display, which has commenced with the microlight demonstration. After these featherlight aircraft, we'll be moving to the heavier types of aircraft, starting with the helicopters and then the fixed-wing aircraft.
इन दृश्यों का मज़ा उठाने के लिए दर्शक बहुत सुबह से ही यहाँ पर एकत्रित होने लगे थे और इतनी तेज़ धूप होने के बावजूद भी वो यहाँ पर बैठे हैं और यहाँ आनंद उठा रहे हैं।
Yes, indeed, Mumbai is privileged to have such a prestigious event to host. And they've literally rolled out the red carpet to welcome the representatives of 29 navies of the world. Truly, the Gateway of India opened the doors to its heart and reached out in symbolic solidarity to help build bridges of friendship that will withstand the most saline of oceanic waters, weather the most violent of storms at sea, and above all, endure the test of time.
We began with the sea, then moved on to land, and now it's the air. All Mumbaikars have their eyes and faces turned skywards to watch this wonderful and amazing display.
a section of our audience who are enthralled by the display in front of them, but they know that the best is yet to come. And they wait in eager anticipation as the excitement builds up to a climax.
After this, you will be seeing a display of rescue at sea by the Chetak helicopter. This is an event worth watching, and everyone is eagerly awaiting it. The helicopters that will take part in the rescue at sea are stationed at the Naval Air Station Mumbai, and they provide search and rescue at sea, and over 100 people are alive today thanks to these tiny but redoubtable Chetaks who have virtually snatched them from the jaws of death.
दर्शकों, अब से कुछ ही देर में आप देखेंगे चेतक हेलीकॉप्टर द्वारा समुद्र पर लोगों की जान बचाने वाला प्रदर्शन। ये हेलीकॉप्टर नौसेना वायु केंद्र मुंबई के समुद्र पर खोज व बचाव वाला कार्य आरंभ करते हैं और इन छोटे पर विश्वसनीय रूप से प्रभावशाली चेतक हेलीकॉप्टरों को धन्यवाद दिया जाना चाहिए कि जिन्होंने मौत के मुंह से सैकड़ों लोगों को बचाकर जीवन दान दिया है। इन हेलीकॉप्टरों में डूबते लोगों में जहाज़ों को बचाया है तथा कई व्यापारिक जहाज़ों के घायल लोगों को बचाकर चिकित्सा सुविधा उपलब्ध कराई है।
Coming into view on your screen now is a Gemini craft with marine commandos moving into position for the various maneuvers which they will perform in tangent with our aircraft. On your screen now is a view of the sailing boat right out ahead in the bay. And to the right of it, you see the MV Ventura. We can hear the helicopters and they come into view right now. 4 Chetak helicopters from the Naval Air Station Mumbai, specializing in search and rescue, casualty evacuation and personnel movement. Very aptly, they're called the Angels.
अब आप बचाव कार्रवाई का प्रदर्शन देखेंगे। हेलीकॉप्टर ऊपर ऊंचाई पर मंडराता रहेगा तथा नीचे पानी के अंदर एक गोताखोर होगा। अब बचाव विंच के साथ एक बचाव पट्टा नीचे पानी के अंदर लटका रहेगा और जब गोताखोर एक घायल डूबते हुए व्यक्ति को उठाएगा। इस व्यक्ति को उठाने के बाद वह उसे हेलीकॉप्टर के भीतर लाएगा तथा चिकित्सा के लिए नौसेना बेस में ले जाएगा।
The Chetak helicopter is hovering low over the bay. And with the strop, it's letting down a seaman who will then simulate a drowning person. They will then perform the rescue and evacuation of the drowning person. It seems to be enjoying the water. It's probably a little warmer than we think it is. There you see the Chetak hovering over the person in the water and now leaving. In a short while from now, we'll have another helicopter come in on the scene and evacuate the drowning man. This telecast has been brought to you by Doordarshan, both on the national network and the international network. In your screen right now, you see a parachute floating down gently towards the sea. This is a parachute that has been dropped by an AN-32, an Antonov 32 aircraft, to test the direction of the wind. We come back to the Chetak, which is now on its way to rescue the drowning victim.
After the person is picked up, he will be taken into the helicopter and then to the naval base for medical treatment.
चेतक हेलीकॉप्टर भारतीय नौसेना के एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा हैं। ये सिर्फ नौसैनिकों को ही नहीं, समुद्र तट पर तैरने के दौरान डूबते लोगों को भी बचाते हैं। युद्ध के समय ये हेलीकॉप्टर हमारे नौसैनिकों की जान बचाने के बहुत काम आते हैं। विकट परिस्थितियों में नौसैनिकों के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण होते हैं ये चेतक हेलीकॉप्टर्स।
The maneuvers being performed at 3 locations along Marine Drive due to the wide sweep of the Marine Drive promenade. The harness that was used to pick up the drowning victim is called a strop. And we see the same helicopter now demonstrating its maneuverability. This is what you call a spot turn.
These machines are able to maneuver because of the ability of the man behind the machine, the helicopter pilot. The helicopters can turn on the spot and even go up and down while turning. As the helicopter moves into the background, we await the demonstration by the Marine commandos. The helicopter is now coming back for some more maneuvers.
These maneuvers are called wing overs. Well, not really wing overs, but because that's possible only in a fixed wing aircraft, but the helicopter